We're talking about the Oscar race, the most important race of 2020, the race for Best Picture. Yes, Oscar season is now in full swing. Get used to it, people, because between now and February, this is the only shit I'm going to be talking about. Buckle up. We're going to begin with the Golden Globe nominations, which were just announced yesterday by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Never a perfect bellwether for the Academy Awards. I mean, the Golden Globes are kind of an imperfect process to begin with. The Hollywood Foreign Press Association is a mysterious body of about 90 members. No one knows who they are. No one knows what they do, but they seem to be easily persuaded by famous people and expensive luncheons. That's kind of the gist. They really like giving famous people shiny trophies, and they really like getting their rings kissed during brunch. So, cool, right? We watch it. Ricky Gervais is going to host. Always a fun, alcohol-filled evening. In terms of the actual awards and the nominations, there are a number of question marks. And that is certainly the case this year if film Twitter is to be believed. It seems like people are pissed off about the Golden Globe nominations. I can't really figure out why, aside from the obvious reasons, which is that the Golden Globes always suck and award seasons suck. So, of course, you're going to be mad about certain snubs and omissions. But, like, this is no more abhorrent than usual, right? I mean, this is a pretty good list for what's been a very good year in movies. So, of course, certain demographic groups are underrepresented, and I'm sure that criticism will continue on for the foreseeable future. But what do y'all want out of the HFPA? You know what I'm saying? Like, they've let you down before, and they're going to continue to let you down as long as you expect this level of excellence out of them. Like, kids, daddy ain't showing up for your birthday. Let it go. All right? He's a deadbeat. The HFPA sucks. So as a whole, whatever. This is exactly what I was expecting, and the Oscars are going to be about the same, right? Deal with it. Let's go down this list. Oh, actually, before we do that, a few big picture things. I think prior to Monday, there were... Let me see if I can count this. 1, 2, 3, 4... This is great radio, by the way. One of my favorite things when I listen to sports talk radio is when, especially one mic radio, right? When the guy just sits there for 90 seconds counting things. Mike Francesa does it all the time. It's one of my favorite cliches, but I'm going to do that right now on podcast. Give me a second. Let's start again from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so there are, before Monday, prior to Monday, 16 movies vying for a Best Picture nomination. Best Picture has a maximum of 10 nominees. It's probably going to be something like 8 or 9. But 16 films vying for those 10 slots. After the Golden Globe nominations, I think that number is down to 11. And maybe just 10. And we'll talk about each of those movies as we run down the list. Thought number 2. My oh my. Has Netflix come to play? My oh my, has Netflix figured out how to run an Oscar campaign. And by the way, they figured it out damn fast. It's only been about a year in the making, if you think about it, right? Last year was the first year Netflix legitimately contended for Best Picture. And it sort of ended in disappointment for them. Roma was considered the frontrunner for a number of weeks and ends up losing Best Picture to Green Book. It wasn't a total shutout on Oscar night. Alfonso Cuarón still won Best Director. But many suspect that Roma lost the big one because Oscar voters resented streaming media for killing the theater business. And so many prognosticators thought the same thing would happen this year. And I suppose that is possible. It is too soon to tell who's going to win Best Picture. But given these nominees, Netflix has not only as good a shot as anybody, but a better shot than anybody. They've gone from total outsiders to earning a spot at the cool kids table to being the damn prom queen. right? They are the frontrunners. Of the 10 nominees in the Best Comedy, Best Drama categories at the Golden Globes, 4 of those movies are Netflix productions. 40% come from Netflix. That's insane. That's obviously more than any other studio. They are dominating award season. And as we talk about who the frontrunners are, it's all Netflix towards the top. So let's do this. Rather than go category by category, I think I want to go movie by movie. I feel like that would be an easier way to conceptualize this. Because there are exactly 3 types of award season movies this morning, right? There are the frontrunners, whose frontrunner status was confirmed by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association yesterday. There are the fringe contenders who were pleasantly surprised by the Golden Globe nominations, but may not contend for Best Picture. And there are the pretenders who thought they would contend for Best Picture and thought they would have a legitimate chance in a number of Oscar categories, but were mostly shut out by the Golden Globes and now feel very discouraged. So there is great news for some movies, pleasantly surprising news for other movies, and disappointing news for that third group. And we're going to talk about all 3 of those groups in a list of about 18 movies. So here we go. First, let's talk Irishman. Adam Hall and I just did a podcast about it on Movie Hopping. Go listen to that in your podcast feeds. Nominated for Best Drama, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor twice over with Al Pacino and Joe Pesci, and Best Adapted Screenplay. The notable omission here, Robert De Niro not up for Best Actor in a Drama, probably the biggest snub in the entire list. I gotta believe he's still going to be nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars, but now I am a bit suspicious. This was considered a lock a few weeks ago. De Niro has a major part in The Irishman, and I think he's clearly the third best performer in the movie. Pesci and Pacino steal basically every scene they're in, especially Pesci. I think Pesci should win Best Supporting Actor, and I don't think it should even be close. But De Niro is in mostly every scene of that movie. He carries that thing, and it's 3.5 hours long, and it's an epic, and Robert De Niro is very famous and has been given many shiny trophies in the past. So this is a bit suspect. I do question the Best Actor race now, and it does feel like it's a 2-horse race. We'll get to that category in a second. De Niro no longer a contender in the Best Actor category, although he'll probably earn a nomination still. Irishman is your Oscar frontrunner. Not only did it get 5 nominations at the Golden Globes, just won 2 major critical awards over the weekend. The New York Film Circle and the National Board of Review both gave it Best Picture, picked up an AFI award. Their top 10 movies of the year were just released this week. It's Scorsese. It's a mob movie. Old people love it. Young people love it. This is your frontrunner for Best Picture. Will it win? I don't know. But if I had to put money on it now, this is the safe bet.